Welcome to the unit of Hadoop Fundamentals on the HDFS command line interface. In this presentation, I will cover the general usage of the HDFS command line interface and commands specific to HDFS. Other commands should be familiar to anyone with Unix experience and will not be covered. I will follow the presentation of most commands with an example run on an IBM Big Insights installation of the Hadoop technology stack. The HDFS can be manipulated through a Java API or through a command line interface. All commands for manipulating HDFS through Hadoop's command line interface begin with Hadoop, a space, and FS. This is the file system shell. This is followed by the command name as an argument to Hadoop FS. These commands start with a dash. For example, the ls command for listing a directory is a common Unix command and is preceded with a dash. As on Unix systems, ls can take a path as an argument. In this example, the path is the current directory, represented by a single dot. Let's begin looking at these HDFS commands by starting up Hadoop. We'll run the start sh script to bring up each of the Hadoop nodes. First the name node, the secondary name node, a data node, the job tracker, and the task tracker. Now we'll run the -ls command to give us the current directory. As we saw for the ls command, the file system shell commands can take paths as arguments. These paths can be expressed in the form of Uniform Resource Identifiers, or URIs. The URI format consists of a scheme, an authority, and a path. There are multiple schemes supported. The local file system has a scheme of file. HDFS has a scheme called HDFS. For example, let us say you wish to copy a file called myfile.txt from your local file system to an HDFS file system on the local host. You can do this by issuing the command shown. The copy from local command takes a URI for the source and a URI for the destination. The scheme and the authority do not always need to be specified. Instead, you may rely on their default values. These defaults can be overridden by specifying them in a file named core_site.xml in the conf directory of your Hadoop installation. Now let's examine the copy from local command. We will copy a file named myfile.txt to the HDFS. Now we can just examine the HDFS with the -ls command and see that our file has been copied. And there it is. HDFS is not a fully POSIX compliant file system, but it supports many of the commands. The HDFS commands are mostly easily recognized Unix commands like cat and chmod. There are also a few commands that are specific to HDFS, such as copy from local. We'll examine a few of these. Copy from local and put are two HDFS specific commands that do the same thing. Copy files from the local file system to a location on another file system. Their opposite is the copy to local command, which can also be referred to as get. This command copies files out of the file system you specify and into the local file system. Get merge is an enhanced form of get that can merge the files from multiple locations into a single local file. Now let's try out the get merge command. First we will copy the myfile.txt into a second copy on the HDFS called myfile2.txt. Then we will use the get merge command to combine the two and write them as one file in the local file system called myfiles.txt. Now if we cat out the value, we see the text twice. Setrep lets you override the default level of replication to a level you specify. You can do this for one file or, with the -r option, to an entire tree. This command returns immediately after requesting the new replication level. If you want the command to block until the job is done, pass the -w option. This concludes the presentation. Thank you for watching.